Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Okay, any discussion or we need approval of the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Scott?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Stan?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Discussion approval of financial report?
Okay, I got the bank reconciliation, that we got balance of 11/30/2014, $1,462,632.79.
Yeah.
And I think we're still, all the funds look healthy to me yet, so we're okay.
Okay, if nobody has any questions, we need approval.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Rob?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Joyce?
No.
Stan?
Yes.
Okay. No special guest, public comment, you got something to bring up?
I just came because I was here. I'm the one building the greenhouse down here, so I was just kind of waiting to see what you guys had to say about that.
Well, when Don and I talked, basically, it's two structures. I mean, I'm okay with the greenhouse going up there, and I think Don as well. I mean, I just need to discuss it, because we're trying, Arnie's there, they're putting like
I seen that.
Yeah, I'm putting it up
and
to
then
park
the
my
other
vehicles
building-
in.
And the other building's there or whatever, so, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it, but I mean, it's still a two structure, so you have to have, a permit. But it's,
Okay.
we're not gonna deny you from building the buildings or anything like that.
No.
I think that's what Amy was calling me last night about, so.
Probably.
So I just wanted to try to figure out what, I stopped down tonight, just looked at everything, just kind of figure out what's going on, because I know that the last couple of weeks you were building the one building, but then I seen they put the,
Yeah, I started doing that on my own.
on the weekend or whatever,
Yeah.
so I see all of a sudden that was up, so I, yeah. But it really falls under structure, because I went back to the zoning rules, regulations, a ten, if you have a ten or anything like that stuff, it's still considered a structure, so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
it's like-
didn't know
Yeah.
how it worked or
Yeah.
what, so.
So I think that's how we're gonna handle it, so.
Yeah, I was amazed. I went down to the library and I was looking in the book, and even a bird bath is considered a structure.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Some of the bird houses are pretty big around here, so you gotta kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, the whole point of the zoning thing really is looking at, you gotta see, so you don't infringe upon the neighbor's rights as well. You wanna-
Right.
You wanna have the freedom to use your property the way you wanna use it, but on the same token, when you do these things, you gotta make sure that, you don't wanna have on somebody else's property lines, or, that's where the zoning fee and stuff does, so John can down there and make sure that you're not building on somebody else's property, or, just make sure where the pins are at and that stuff, and that's what kind of the cost is, so it's gonna be $25 per structure, so it's gonna be like, so if you got two of them, it's gonna be like $50, so, right?
You guys changed that.
When we change
It's
it,
18 cents a square foot.
so,
Over.
but it says in there, under 144 square feet though, right, 12 by 12.
But everything's over top of
Okay, so how big is one building?
that. The shed,
The shed's not over 12 by 12, is it?
12 by 16.
12 by 16, so there's gonna be a little bit of adjustment on that then. So wherever, no, we'll look at the
Yeah.
square footage is, and then,
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
We'll sure to clean your clock, okay?
Yeah.
Is a greenhouse now a permanent structure?
No, it's temporary. It's probably only gonna be there 3 to 5 years. You know, I mean, I'm living with my parents now, so whenever I move out, I'm gonna take it with me. So.
That's what they hope too.
Yeah. But
I'm sorry.
No mercy here, is there?
That's a tough crowd.
So John, we're just gonna get things measured up, and then we'll come up with the number, and then we'll get a
Yeah,
result.
that's
But other than
fine.
that, that's what's going on.
So yeah, that's just what I wanted to double check on.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how we were gonna deal with it.
I wasn't sure either, because I had to go back and kind of reread the zoning thing, just to make sure didn't interpret it wrong, basically, I was looking at how the structure was considered, you know.
That's confusing, and that's what.
Well, that's why we do that, we keep it confusing so we can,
That's why it's legal.
Yeah.
Everything legal is confusing.
yeah. So I think we got it resolved, I don't have no other issues.
No, it's fine.
Unless you guys have issues or anything with it.
Yeah, as
Zoning
long as it
commissioner
doesn't
is approving.
negatively affect
Yeah,
property
Okay,
values.
I know.
Good.
Commission.
Any other
Any other questions?
No,
questions?
nope.
Okay. What are reports for committees, finance, budget, audit, got it, this is pretty much,
Yeah.
should cover that.
Yep.
Anybody else got any questions on it? If not, we'll go to police.
For last month, in November, we had 2 citations, we gave out 18 verbal/written warnings. We had 1 juvenile complaint, 10 adult complaints, and we assisted 2 other agencies, with help of, certain situations that we had. Other than that, November was pretty much a quiet month. And that's it. Chief just wants everybody to have a good, safe, and happy holiday, I guess. There wasn't much that we did this month, past month.
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, I mean, we're really, pretty good.
Quiet's good.
It's
Quite
It's good,
good.
yeah.
Some families have left the community.
Yeah, several families have left the community.
So,
It's not even quiet.
So let's hope then,
and we've had some certain things take place that have kind of,
calm things down a little bit or whatever.
yes, calmed things down a little bit that way.
Well, I think the main thing is that we have a good show now, and you know, it's not odd hours, and you know, no one's gonna be here, so that's, that always helps too, so we can.
Seneca County Sheriff's Department too has been covering our area. Since, you know, we have officers on duty and we don't have a backup for our own department, they try to cover over here a little bit more often than what they have been in the past, so. Usually when we don't have someone on, there is a deputy within 5 minutes of that stuff.
Out of curiosity, when they had that incident, I don't know, last week, or when it was probably the beginning of the month, when the kid passed away down there, or whatever, how's that handled in a corporation like this? I mean, the sheriff's handled that situation, right?
I believe so, I don't.
I mean, I don't- I mean,
Yeah, but that was only because
I didn't know how
we
they.
didn't have an officer.
That's what I mean, I didn't know, so, if we had an officer on duty that time, then we would have been responsible for that, I guess, my question was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't know. I
That's
just-
something you'd have to talk to Brandon about.
Yeah, talk to Brandon
Because
about
we
it,
have a
something.
certain thing, I imagine he'd probably bring someone else in,
Yeah.
just since
For that
Jared and I-
particular situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since Jared and I
We've-
are very new.
We've had them in town before. We've had incidents like that in town before, not
Okay.
quite the same criteria as
Okay.
that one.
That's why I was wondering how
But
to handle it.
our officers are handling those.
Okay. So I didn't know what our liability, and how to make sure, we're protected, I didn't know exactly how that
Or-
works.
I mean, we got the
No.
jurisdiction.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, anybody got any questions for Brittany?
Been hearing anything about home invasions? Or anything? I seen we had one in Clyde.
Not here, we had a car, someone said someone punched out a car window, that was a domestic violence thing, that got solved in,
Just seen in the advertising Tribune this morning, but
Mhm.
there was a home invasion on, right there on Route 20.
And we
In
haven't had
town
any
first,
reports.
and It was, some, couple young guys.
Oh,
Or
I
the paper.
saw that, yeah.
They thought it was 2 blacks and an Hispanic or Indian. That's how they described it. They
A couple of kids
broke
with-
in on the
With a
house.
baseball bat?
With ball
Yeah,
bat,
they
yeah,
went with a
and tied
baseball
up with
bats
duct
and
tape.
stole several $100s.
Wow.
we haven't had anything here.
Huh?
We did have a car break-in, but it wasn't reported to us, I read it on Facebook from someone. But they never reported it to the police department or the county, so.
Because they didn't have anything in it, all they had
Yeah.
was loose change, and that was all.
But other than that,
Okay,
that one
I just
incident, we haven't had anything.
I don't think they really broke into it. He didn't have a lock.
I know, I think the person's in the store changed.
Well, that's better than breaking the window out.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
really.
Been down and done that.
Yeah, me too.
Here, we'll go on to fire, Steve.
Had 6 calls for the month. Yearly total is 115 calls. The annual popcorn balls is in full swing. They are available at the station by calling in 419-986-5141. Orders will be taken until December 8th, then it is first come, first served. The department has received word from the North Pole that Santa will be here December 20th, about 9 a.m. He will be taken around the village on the fire truck, passing out goodies to all the kids. And the first phase of the station electrical has been completed. The next phase will be to upgrade the lighting in the training and maintenance room. The department is working on its first year, third year, and 5-year plans. And that's it.
You said it was December 20th?
December 20th at 9 a.m.
Is that on a Saturday?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is Saturday.
You gonna be up by then? 9 a.m.?
Good crowd. Don't worry, you're gonna get them back, I know you are.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now.
I will be if you're not.
Okay. Clean up, Joyce?
Nothing.
Not here. Water, sewer, street, John?
Okay, nothing really for sewer. On water, some of you may have seen that we had a leak. It wasn't a main break like we had thought it was gonna be. The old service line running across the street to the old hotel, the copper flare was ate off.
Right.
That's what was leaking, so. And all of our electronics are in and everything's working great.
You just be able to-
Um,
You're happy with the performance of it then? I mean, is everything?
oh, yeah. it's
Okay.
nice.
I mean, how's overall the system working as far as, are you noticing water hammer anything now, or you notice it's a lot better, or?
It's about a 20-pound variation. When we get to see, our pumps aren't necessarily made up, built for the VFDs.
Right.
So you can only get them down to a certain spot where they
Right.
won't push against the head anymore,
Right.
and it'll fold them out. So kinda gotta leave it up a little bit, but
Right.
20 pounds is nothing compared to the 80 to 100 we just had every time they turned on or shut off.
Right.
And on street, not really a whole lot going on.
How about on the culvert, where, is that gonna be on hold then?
Yeah, the guy's got the closed signs,
Okay.
or closed
So is
street
that gonna
signs
show
there and stuff. Oops, he's got it marked up and stuff, and he's gonna start, probably, I don't know if it'll be any more this week, but it'll be at least by Monday.
It's one of those precast things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be built.
Yeah.
Going.
I have a question for you, John.
Shoot.
You were, a couple of weeks ago, you gave me the answer to the question about the gal out on 590 that was wondering why her sewer bill was what it was. Where can a person, either her or me or anybody, go to read up on that? She's still not real happy with the situation, and I said, I'll find out where you can read what John told me. So,
It's in the water sewer ordinance, but as for,
like, is there something she could come up here and sit down and read and understand why the EPA says she has to pay that rate or whatever?
no,
No.
that's just what
You do what the EPA
Yeah.
says, whether you like it or not.
Well, I think the other thing, I think too, I mean, I read your text or email you sent out or whatever, so I was thinking about, the issue comes down to is that, I mean, you have to service the debt load of the bond, I mean, we got to put money out, put the system in, and so there's cost, and that's how they kind of come up with the numbers that they figured out what you had to pay. And the other issue you gotta look at, when people are outside the city, they're not paying city income tax too, so there's no subsidy to help the village pay for all these, infrastructures that we have to take care of. So I think that's kind of was the thought process as we start down this direction. So I mean, no matter how you do it, you're never gonna please everybody. But at the end of the day, you have to look at servicing the bond debt and, plus just maintaining, the system, because there's gonna be repair costs, stuff in the future, and pumps, whatever, to the waste treatment plant, whatever.
Our main loan was through USDA,
Yeah.
and they basically sit down and tell you, this is what your payment's gonna be a year, and in order to operate, these are gonna be your general expenses, and this is what you're gonna charge.
What it boils down to real quick, I don't know if you're up to speed on it, is a single gal lives in a house, just her, and her rate is higher than my wife and I's rate in town. And she wonders, why am I paying this 80-some bucks a month and I didn't have an answer for it,
You know,
John.
I'll tell you, because I know a lot of people in Ballville, Fremont, that sort of thing, and the people in Ballville don't have water service. They're all well, but they do have sewer service.
That's her situation.
And it's the exact same situation. They always charge the people who have sewer only an acre amount of money more than the people who have water and sewer. Because the people in water and sewer are paying for the water delivery and everything else, and you're still taking care of that. And all the towns that do it, if you're just in the suburbs and you have well water, if you're using their sewers, you're gonna find the
It's
same
because there's no
situation.
way to determine how much the load you're actually putting on the system.
To my
There's no
knowledge,
meters on the
that
sewers.
happens all through Ohio.
I can tell you in Sandusky Township, it's $90 a month.
Well, the other thing you gotta look at.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Another thing you gotta look at is that, you know, like, we have our water here that we're charging for in town, and then there's one of the sewer, if there's a cost to treat that water, I mean, you know, you use the line, or the
Right.
caustic and all that stuff to do the pH balance and all that stuff like that. Well, the problem is when people are outside cities, they're still sending water here, we still gotta treat it because it's contaminated, so it's still gotta be treated, so we have a cost for that too, so that's why, that's some of the cost, so you understand it there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
what
it all
balance
makes
point.
sense, but her thinking is, and I can see her point, I guess, I can see both sides, that why isn't her rate more consistent with a single-family house in the village that uses water?
Because you don't have a meter, so you can't, there's no way to, that's what John was saying, you don't have no way
So
to.
they base your sewer off the amount of water you
Right.
use.
Right.
They have no
So-
way of doing that for
So
her.
if you use 20,000 gallons of water in a month, your sewer bill is gonna be over $300-400. If she uses 20,000 gallons of water in a month, her bill's gonna be $82.57. Because
I say
there's,
I'm
But
all-
it just kinda sounds like we're assuming she's using a whole lot more sewer
Doesn't mean
than
that
one
they
person would
require you
typically
to
use.
use them.
That's what-
It's
and
the
I
fact,
have a
it's
choice
the
whether
fact
to-
that you can't verify it.
Right, that's what comes down to.
I mean, that's, she can use twice the amount of sewer capacity that we do, and there's no way of us to verify it, so they set the, and it's.
It's only
pretty-
And it wouldn't be, and
it's
it wouldn't
pretty
matter
standard
whether
all
she
through.
used 1,000 gallons or 20,000.
Right.
Her fee, it's gonna be the same. She knows every month that bill's gonna be that much.
I guess to wrap it up, my original question is, where can she read that somewhere? That's why, I understand what you're saying and it all makes sense, but she wants to see it in black and white, like,
call me.
what are they?
Yeah, I'm sure there has to be a place online and you can dig that up, because so many communities are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But we don't have anything like in our water rates that explains that or anything?
We've
Not
just
in
set
that,
the
no.
rates here on recommendations of studies.
Yeah, so we had to look at
Right.
it.
Yeah. we would-
Including her rates?
Yeah.
Everybody-
Yeah, everybody
everybody's
stacked
rates.
in that.
Basically,
They
this
say
is
this
how much
is-
for in
this
town,
is-
how much for out of town.
Right, this is how much you need to maintain the system, and this is what you should do.
Now, weren't they also offered to be annexed into the
Yeah.
village
Yes.
when that took place?
Mhm. And they said no, so.
So actually, hers is only, what, $10 more than the normal person? What's the normal, we paid 71.69, right?
Yeah, but you're getting water
You
too.
didn't buy cheap,
Yeah.
weren't you?
Yeah, like in our
Well,
case,
suppose
there's,
I'm single, I don't use that much water.
like in our case, there's two people in our house and just one in hers, and she's paying more than we are in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, we're
but
paying
still, she isn't
I'm
paying.
paying twice as
income
much
tax
as all
or
of you.
city income tax.
Yeah.
Ohio, you got
I
Ohio
got-
twist my arm.
She don't pay none of that.
I'm paying a whole lot of sewer.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
And
we
that's
went,
gonna go for
we went through all this with Tice.
Yeah,
I
well, that,
suppose,
Yeah,
yeah.
one man.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Operation too.
when we had all the meetings at the school, all the public meetings we had, he was there. But,
Teacher Tom pays the same amount.
Yeah,
I'll tell
Anybody
you this
else
much,
has to-
Stan, when I moved here, I was shocked by how much the water was, because when I left Fremont, it was about $35 a month, okay? And this was outside of Tiffin, this was one of the highest I heard of. But we were kinda ahead of the curve as far as putting in systems.
Right.
Way above a lot of other people. Now Attica's doing it, Arcadia's
Well, they're
doing
making
it.
them as they
And
go.
now,
Everybody's gonna be able to hook in
we're
some kind of-
average to below average from what they pay in Fremont.
Yeah.
And they're gonna go up.
Yeah.
Fremont's gonna get hammered as soon as they pull that
Well,
dam out.
Fostoria already has started their so much percent that they're gonna almost double, I think.
Fremont's going up 29%.
Well,
Yeah.
Now, don't you really believe though, say in the next, say, I don't know, maybe 10 years, there'll be like a county-wide sewer? Don't you think they're all gonna be dumping in, don't you think? Because they're making everybody do this, and it's gonna go to a central point, I think, at one time.
But
I'm not gonna see it, but
The
you
problem,
guys
the problem is,
probably
this $1 million mile to put up pipe structure in roughly.
Yeah, they talk about $1 million mile coming from the Fostoria.
Yeah, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a lot of money to do that, you know what I mean, so you stop to think about how many money you get.
Well, and that's why we
See,
go to
we're-
our plant a little bit bigger too, to handle more people.
Yeah.
We're real fortunate that we have our own plant.
Right.
New Regal, they're at the mercy of Foster.
Fostoria and they just,
Yeah,
they're
whatever
getting hammered,
Fostoria
yeah.
says, that's what they're gonna pay.
It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to know what they have over Erie and Huron County, cause they have that Erie Huron County Water Authority. over
Yes.
there. And that, they got everybody, the country, everybody,
Mhm.
and they're all sucked into it. And the other thing you gotta realize, the more people move out of this town and quit paying water, the higher our rates gotta go, cause we have a bond we have to take care
Yeah,
of.
we have a debt, it has to be.
You've got 30 more years to pay on that.
So,
And you'll need to take out another loan to rebuild.
Yeah.
It ain't going away.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
I won't be.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, I think we gotta be honest with all the people in the village, we know what the costs are. Some people just don't realize, you know, what it costs to maintain the infrastructure. I mean, it's a lot of money.
And that's bare minimum.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't take in much more than what we spend. There is very little carryover for sewer.
Okay, thanks.
And just one pump for that big lift station's 14 grand.
And
There's
the
two of
EPA
them in
tells
there.
you what you're gonna put in and how you're gonna do it.
So-
You can't do anything without an architect, you gotta hire all these people. You can't just go replace a pump, you have to get permission from 10 people, don't you? It's just awful.
It's not cheap, but it's a good thing that we got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got what we did.
Yeah.
How bad are our water lines? Are we expecting bunches of breaks in the near future, or?
No, that's why we put the.
That's what we must do that.
Drives,
Really?
we're hoping to stop that.
So, I mean, I think we should probably get around 100 years out before we really have to make, of course, the ones we replaced already, the plastic ones might last longer than that, but the steel
The only
ones,
place in town that's got plastic is
like in
Northern States.
Mm.
not like me either.
Well, the water pipes are 60-some years old now.
Well, in another 40 years, we'll be all up in Townsville, then we won't worry
Well,
about
I
it.
don't have to worry about it.
And for,
She'll still be on.
Yeah, I don't think.
Want to get out for NCIS?
It'll still be on too.
They'll still be on.
did you bring that paperwork about that GIS system? I forgot all about it.
No.
Do you even remember what I'm talking about? We went to the meeting in Sycamore.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah, I got the guys started on, but I don't run it.
We went to a meeting over in Sycamore at their new water plant, which is really nice. There is a guy there, he's really pushing this GIS system, which it's for hydrants, which we pretty much know where all of our hydrants are at. But valves, curb boxes, you can put anything on this and it's loaded into this system and it's all run off of an iPad or iPhone, whatever you wanna run it off of. And along with that, they sell listening equipment, which ours is about shot. And I wish I had paperwork on it, I forgot all about it too.
And just for listening for water leaks and stuff like that, you're talking
I
about.
mean,
Yes.
it's
an
a really nice one.
Ultrasonic.
Ultrasonic system.
Yeah.
It was what,
I was thinking,
3,000?
I was thinking it was like $3,500 bucks for.
That sounds like too much.
But I mean, it's a nice one.
No, and ours is old and it's got all these wires and all this other stuff. And this one is all done by Bluetooth. You can actually use an iPhone to listen with it. It's really pretty interesting. Next year.
Is that something that could be implemented with what you got already? With what's in the town already?
As in,
The GIS, that you could bring something like that and implement it here? Or would it involve adding or building more stuff?
No, all it does is find
No,
the
it's
stuff.
just an
mark
It's
it.
just a tool.
It's just a repair.
I guess I'm thinking of like hardware or physical.
Their software, they charge you like $1,500 for 5 years. And it's all loaded in a database, but you own everything, but that's their charge to use their software.
Oh, bring it to the meeting next.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a nice setup.
The big thing is last winter, well, this winter we haven't seen it yet, but last winter, when you got all that snow and you have a main break, you've got an idea where a valve is at, but finding it's a whole nother story under a foot of snow. It'd be nice to be able to pinpoint it and walk over top of it, and it tells you you're there.
Is this something that can be used to map out a system?
Oh, yeah,
No, that's what you
everything.
do, is,
So
You
you
can
can
map
map
out-
it out in good weather and be a little bit proactive about making
Oh, yeah.
repairs?
Mains, water, sewer, gas, I mean, it'll do everything.
'Cause
And
we
it's
get-
all for the same price. The price that they bid is per customer, and it's like, 500, residences and below is like $1,500, and then it goes up once you go over like 500. But we're at
yeah,
like
we're at the
310,
15.
so.
But I
So
mean, it's
that
a,
potential opportunity.
it's
for
a real
both
cool
cities.
system and be up.
But yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is walk it out and hold your iPad, and it saves everything and maps out every street. It maps out everything. It was really neat.
How many water breaks do you average during the winter? I mean, I know there gotta be quite a few.
Well,
Last year, we had,
last year we were really fortunate. I think we
Well,
only
I mean,
had
on
two.
an average, like a 10-year cycle. I mean,
I bet we probably average a couple, 2 or 3 a year.
it'd be interesting to know what the cost of that repair is.
A couple
versus-
grand every time.
Yeah, okay.
That's what made us look real hard into getting the VFDs.
yeah,
Because most of our breaks, they're not split down the main like a main was routed out. They're split around, and that's from water hammerhead.
yeah.
They're split right around the main.
Okay.
So that was what Dave and I kind of got on board with, looking into VFDs to try and stop the hammer.
Okay.
We did have one main break since we put them in, and that was on the corner of Thomas and Elm. And I've been here since '02, and that's the very first time we've ever dug down there. So, but that one wasn't even split the whole way around. The top of it had a little crack in it.
What they doing with digging holes over on Sullivan? Is it the gas company or gas
That was
people?
Miller.
Oh,
They
that was
replaced-
Miller
they was
Pipeline.
replacing gas lines.
They were- Yeah, they replaced the gas main for Swicker.
Okay.
Since you mentioned Elm Street, didn't they rename
Yeah,
that
it's,
street?
we gotta get signed.
I would suggest, I just drove by there the other day, and I said, we got these nice kind of monuments with street names, and it'd be shame, I mean, we're not gonna buy one of those, obviously. Just get a sign and tap on it right to it,
Oh,
cheap. Good job. It's fun.
Well, probably what we would do with that monument, when we come out, we'd do the more modern street sign.
We do need to start replacing street signs.
Cause I wanna get the guys
We have to
next
be-
spring and stuff to start.
So who actually made those
You didn't know
obelisks,
so.
or what, first time, was that somebody here in town made that stuff?
Huh?
Who made the obelisks the first time? Who made those, so?
Those monument things?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That was years, they've been here
I'm old
forever.
pet, I kinda like them.
Well, it might surprise you what one costs though anymore.
Yeah, I kinda like them. I had to get rid of them.
But we have to be compliant with the state, and, I think the high intensity compliance is, I'm trying to remember, 2020, I think they extended it to. But signs are pretty expensive, so
Yeah.
that's stuff we're gonna.
Maybe
have to
we
look
don't
at.
do anything, the state would get rid
What's
of it.
this, get a marker and a stencil?
Put it right on the
Put it
street,
right
huh?
on, holy cow.
Right on the road.
Why don't they get Arnie and change his last name to Elm?
Yeah, yeah. That'd probably be cheaper.
Glad you asked me that. You come up with a good idea at council meeting. You're not gonna be Elm. Arnie Elm.
Oh.
Okay, any other questions for John? If not, park. If you remember last time I brought up, we're only gonna have $14,500 to operate on. I see no way, that unless we have some kind of miracle or something like that, that we'll be able to open up swimming this year. I mean, it's just, our budget was $65,000 and we're a little short, put 14.5.
You're quite a bit short, maybe about
I mean,
50,000.
I wanted to bring it up to you, well, we did last meeting, we brought it up, and told you to think about it and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, we can't keep throwing money at,
No.
No.
The other issue was, I mean, did we negotiate with the school, Old Fort, and anything, see if they would?
I've been talking to them and stuff,
entertain,
and,
levy or anything?
I mean, it'd have to be on next year's levy, and
Yeah.
then it'd be another year to get that.
Yeah.
And don't you really believe, being as we've lost everything, if they absorbed us, shouldn't they absorb our levy too? I mean,
You would
Still,
think that
for
was how
people
it's
that-
supposed to happen, but.
I mean, that covers.
Yeah, it sounds good in Bettsville, it might not sound so good in Old Fort.
Yeah, they might not want a park. They got their community park out there at Fort Cynic.
Well, even if they liked it, the law is the law, it
Yeah.
expired.
Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah.
I mean, they can put it on, they don't even like, if they don't even like it and put it on, and they vote it down, so, I mean, you're gonna still be just as heavy, but I mean, I'm hoping that we give it a little bit of time to have everything, I think it's going pretty smooth with all this and that, and
As far as the transition.
transition part of it and that, and hopefully we could get Old Fort people, cause that was one of the ideas when we had kids out here and stuff for the park, for when we had to meet and greet Bettsville and Old Fort kids and stuff like that. We come up with the deal that maybe the parents that have never been here come out and see how nice it is and everything. And I think we're getting good comments about it, but we're strapped right now. I
Well, I
mean,
guess
I don't see any way to get around it unless we got some rich donor that wants to take care of it for us.
I guess the other issue we got though is, I mean, now, if that's the case, then how do we protect ourselves from liability if we don't have swimming out there from swimming, I guess?
Well, I was just gonna bring that up, because,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, we're gonna
All
have
we can
to-
do is post signs all the way
we don't
around.
want the park open,
Right.
but it's still our property, and there's still gonna be kids, that's a little 4-foot fence,
Right.
and there's people gonna go in there on a hot day when nobody's around. So,
I mean, we already had, for instance, we lost a few people out there already over the years, and it would be in that situation again, so.
Well, we have that issue now, after the park closes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
said it's rained and we've just not opened and stuff. I go out there afterwards and there's still people out there swimming.
Yeah.
yeah, but the kids know there's an expectation within a day or two it's gonna be open again. We're talking about the whole season, it's gonna be closed, do we open the park? Cause it's almost like, you can walk in the living room, but don't go in the back bedroom. You know, it's,
Well,
I think
and
you
that
have
14.5
to
is gonna.
keep the park open. If you close the park altogether, you're not gonna have nothing for the 2016 summer.
I understand that, I understand that.
I have no suggestion to that.
No, I
I mean,
don't either.
post signs, no trespassing, filers will be whatever,
What
like.
else?
I mean, we
I'm
talked,
just trying to get everybody to
we talked at our
thinking
park
right
meeting,
now.
committee meeting and stuff, that would think that the shelter houses and everything should still be open. We got the playground equipment and
I
stuff
think
like
it
that.
should be
But
open.
we can't afford to have somebody out there watching it. That's the
No, but
problem.
we may wanna kinda talk to the police department about making some sort of patrol arrangement.
We do that now.
I'm not sure what you do, so I'm just asking that question.
You're still gonna have to employ somebody to maintain the property.
Yeah, we know.
Gotta mow, gotta do all
And
this.
so there is generally gonna be somebody out there at different times, I would assume. I mean, depending on what we figure out with that, but all our volunteers are gone for that stuff.
And we even talked at the meeting too, what do we do about the 4th of July and stuff like that? And we have the fireworks and have swimming that day or something and bring in some money that way.
The only problem is getting lifeguards for one
For
day.
one day.
Yeah,
Because most of them are gonna be employed for other places and it's, like us, it's a requirement that if you're employed, we need you that day.
I mean, this is just things that we had talked about. I mean, no solutions, but it's,
Yeah, but I don't see how you can even think about even doing a fireworks thing, because, I mean, we always had to subsidize it so heavily anyhow. I mean, if you haven't had $14,000, I don't know how you gotta,
yeah, could we, then 12,000 came out of the,
No, we normally budget 14.
for the fireworks.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying, I don't,
Yeah, it's washed.
yeah.
Well, I don't
And we,
think we're gonna
and
solve
we
it
usually, and
tonight.
usually, yeah, I mean, it's things we gotta think about.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be realistic about it, I mean, you don't have money, you don't have the money, you gotta, it's just.
Not only businesses, but I've seen examples where communities have raised money on crowdfunding and
Yeah.
things like that. If you present it right, I mean, you can get funding from not only local people, but even businesses like a camping company or Coleman Lanterns might kick in some money. Hey, these people in Ohio are gonna lose their park. You know, crowdfunding can reach a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
It's a
That's a
possibility.
good thought.
That roughly 65, does that include the cost of the fireworks too, or that for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
everything.
so roughly 65 for the
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing you could possibly do, maybe we could probably do maybe some of those, remember we talked about the band, the dances or whatever out there, whatever, and that kind of stuff, but we kind of talked about some of those things that maybe you use for funding, some funding, but I don't know,
The jamborees or
jamborees or something, I don't know, I'm just saying,
Yeah, festivals, whatever you
Yeah.
wanna call it.
yeah, I'm just saying, I mean.
See, I suggested that last night, still have like our car show and stuff, still have the 4th of July, have our special events that we would normally do, we just won't have swimming. Cause you're gonna save, I think what we said, 5,000 was my wages, and then another 10 or so, I forget what the lifeguards were. But we cut, I'd be willing to just give mine up, so you don't have to pay me, and I'll just volunteer mow and stuff, and Steve Shiley, I imagine he'd help out when he can.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
Yeah.
And then without the lifeguards, that's, I think I figured it up, it's a close to 10,000 for, I think we have 8 guards out there that we would be saving right there, so that's 15,000 in wages alone. And then, I mean, we still have to have the insurance on the water in case something would ever happen, but
All that's covered under our insurance.
the maintenance and stuff, we wouldn't have to worry about any maintenance out there this year for that.
Well,
Just
if
make
you,
sure
if
we
you rent a shower,
winterize
if you
it.
rent a shower
I mean, the water
houses
itself.
or whatever have you, still gotta have somebody out there cleaning them and stuff, cleaning the
And
toilets
concession
and
stand.
everything. I mean, you got the restrooms out there, it's gotta be cleaned and
Right.
maintained and,
There's gonna cost no matter how you do it, I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
You really don't wanna let the beach go.
no.
No, it's something that still needs to be kept up and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and
I mean, maybe for the short term we can do that, but then we gotta look for long term,
Right.
long-term funding or something we can do to try to salvage it. I don't, I don't really think about that kind of money, that's a lot of money to come up with. So,
We're looking at you to get it out of your petty cash.
it's hard to
I
figure.
always
You
think
knew
that
that was
Everybody always thinks that here's some kind of money. Do you, Gary?
Not this one, this one's for you.
He's on the other end of town,
Yeah.
right?
Wrong side of the track.
Tracks, yeah.
Good.
go ahead, Gary.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, last night it was suggested, I have mixed feelings about it, but maybe looking into leasing the park to someone, for a couple years. Maybe we can make an agreement of someone local who'd be interested in leasing the park, maybe doing some upgrading to the park that it needs, and then maybe look to eventually getting it back to the village. But then, could we, if
If
we
it's making
upgrade
money
it?
and they're leasing it, they're not gonna give it
I
back.
know, that's the
No.
thing.
But it's not a bad idea, I mean, looking at it from their point of view, say if you do like a campground or something like that, like what, maybe over in Bass or something like that, where they have a camp or something like that. Because you do have the infrastructure here, so basically if you had some way to, where they had this, tie into the sewer system, that get rid of waste, like that, they could do something like that, maybe do sell the right price, or make a little bit of money off of it, that way it's not costing them, but we still have something that's functional and.
From what we heard, liability gave it, right?
If you lease it out.
If we lease it.
I mean, of course, as part of the lease, you make sure that they have insurance on it too.
Right.
Pass on the burden
How
off
many
on them.
days did you say we get to have camping a year? There was quite a few.
There's 20 days.
20 days.
No, there was more than that.
That was more, that was like.
Wouldn't that all change though if somebody was leasing?
I was thinking
Well,
around
yeah,
close
but
to
if we
50.
could have people camping every weekend, be making some money. You know?
That's days, not weekends.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
well,
I'm just saying, maybe that's a good option for short term until you can figure out what you wanna do long term. I mean, if you figure out a way to finance or get some kind of a levy where it passes, where you got income coming in, then you go back and take it back over, and then it turns a lease or something like that, but maybe.
I think we'll have another year think around 10,000 was what was given for a levy.
Yeah, so that's probably, still not gonna help you much, is it? I mean, you're still gonna be $25,000 or whatever, and that's not gonna come close to what you need to probably operate the darn thing. Realistically.
Yeah, I mean, it would be,
So we need to
we
find
got,
60
what we gotta do is
that will give
kind
us
of
1,000
brainstorm and
per
try to
year.
come up with some ideas to
Right.
get this to work.
Trace, you're head of that project, you came up with the idea, you're head.
Yeah, run with it.
Beg, if you gotta get in hands and knees to do it.
Start between commercials tonight,
Yeah.
the list.
But I mean, that's the dire straits we're in, so, I mean,
Well, I think maybe we have to make sure that the community knows that's the issue coming up to where we're at, and need to, so we're not blindsided when we need to get out.
because, I mean, I even had some people in town say, what, couldn't we just put Bettsville levy on? But it wouldn't generate enough money to do it.
10 cents.
Yeah.
That's why we went through the school district, because it'd get more people. And I mean, if it would pass through Old Fort, we'd probably be all right, because you got 2 school districts instead of 1 that you're picking up.
But, you know, the problem in reality is that people, they don't wanna pay more taxes, so that, I mean.
I mean, it's gonna be a hard sell. I think.
So even-
Well, especially with the farmers, because they're getting nailed this year.
See, my thing was to kind of get them over there. They don't have very many youth programs in the school, and I wanted to form, like, they don't have youth soccer, like an area that actually practice at. Why can't we get soccer nets up out there? If we invest a little, maybe we'll start getting more people to come out and stuff, and they'll want to do more things, get more people involved. And I would like to get co-ed softball tournaments out there, volleyball tournaments out there, stuff like that. But we need to invest a little in order to get stuff coming in. So,
We're all familiar with the Fort Seneca Park, but where do they swim? Is there swimming?
They-
over
they
there?
don't have it.
No,
they
There's
don't,
no
that's the
park.
thing,
There's no
that's the
swimming over
good
there.
thing about our park is we have a swimming area.
Right.
It's just, it needs updated a
Because they
lot.
had.
Is there a Morrison Lake or something
Yeah.
over that way? Is that?
Nobody
That's-
hardly
that's a
uses
private-
it.
That's a
That's
private
private.
lake.
It's
So
it's
now-
members only, because when I lived over there, I used to belong to it, but not many people use it.
They have a lot of problems.
They have their days.
Yeah, they don't have very much going on there.
And Gary, what's Old Fort's response when they've been approached so far? Anything?
Well, I talked to the superintendent and everything, he's willing to do it. I mean, they wanna get out with the people and see what they think, before we say, yeah, we'll go put it on.
Well,
School
if
board have
it's
to
a
approve
larger
that?
tax base, wouldn't it be a much smaller
Does the
levy?
school board have to approve that?
Sure.
They'd have
Yeah,
to be the
their
ones that
school
put it
board
on.
would have to
Yeah.
approve it, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's school system, that's a big district.
Yeah, well, picked up, I mean, ours we managed.
You
not-
said- You said when we put the levy on, we put it on for November of 2015, we won't get the money till 16, right?
It's always a year behind.
Okay.
That's why we're getting. we
But
got
then
a
doesn't
little
our
bit
one
different.
levy that we are currently operating on for the 2015 summer, won't that end in 16?
No,
Or is it, I think,
it already ended.
I thought we had 2 though, and they,
That one ended last year.
okay, so that's why we have no money this summer.
Right.
Yeah, we only had the one, but we got that money for the one.
But the other issue too is, I mean, in best world, I mean, higher property taxes because of the school redistricting and all that.
Not gonna be that much
No,
different.
it's not gonna be much different, but it's gonna make a change, so people are gonna be resistant to it, because it's, it's gonna be the bottom line at the end of the day.
I mean, anybody, and you got younger people, or, Fort area too, that's got a lot of young kids and stuff that I think, it would be ideal for them.
Yeah. Maybe because they're getting adjusted to driving over there now might help them out, be so bad.
And there's one more deal too, like you could say, okay, Liberty Township could come in
Yeah,
and
Liberty
do
was,
a Liberty.
They
Do
were
a-
agreeable to it.
Yeah, a levy and make it special Liberty Park.
Well, since we're doing the bank venture on the fire district, maybe, or, the ambulance and all that stuff, maybe we just kind of incorporate everybody, Jackson, everybody.
Yeah.
Something too, I'm just saying, think about it, I mean, just
Yeah.
make it more of a community
Well, that's
thing.
why I'm throwing it out there,
Yeah.
just to have you guys something to think about. We're gonna have to move on it, but.
Yeah. But I don't think, I silver bullet for this year. I mean, I don't realistically anything.
No,
It's
but,
not really
you know,
possible.
what I'm hearing from everybody is that if we sell it right to, I shouldn't say sell it right, that would be.
Pitch it right.
If you
Present it.
reason with the people and make them only see,
The
instead
value
of
of it.
having a couple small communities that don't have a whole lot to offer, they can make a much larger community where we can work together and have a much stronger
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
with the park, because they don't have a park. They don't really have much of a downtown. You know, the gas station's been closed up for years over there. They got that,
Grocery
yeah,
store
they got
over
that
there.
credit card place out there on 53, but that's it.
Yeah.
They got a ball diamond in Fort Seneca. I mean,
Yeah,
we
that's
have a
ball
lot to
diamond in
offer
Fort
to them,
Right.
you know.
I mean,
It's
that's
cool,
the
it's
part
good
about
stuff.
there.
It may turn out to be a good thing in the long term,
Right.
Well, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
so.
Well, I guess we just.
But we gotta think what we're gonna do this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on the table now, so we'll just
Pretty
discuss
soon,
it.
but don't we have to have it on the
And-
ballot by March or April?
No, that's a problem though, it's got nothing to do with us.
No.
They have to do it.
They have to.
Well, I know that, but can't we get them,
Suggest it to them.
can't we talk to them and have them
Oh,
put it
yeah.
on the
Oh,
news?
yeah, you can talk.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
what
we're doing.
Gary's doing,
Yeah.
so. No, that's all we can do about it.
Yeah, all we can do is try. Keep trying, trying.
I'm trying to get the ink out of my pencil.
Okay, we're going to zoning. Scott, you got anything
Now
other
that
than
we
this
talked about
tonight?
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's smiling over there, so I think we did great.
Okay. And I just left culvert on there just to let you guys updated that
Okay.
it's marked out now and the street closed signs are there and that, and he's gonna start on it. He talked to John and I, was it yesterday? Day before?
Somebody was there in the truck yesterday.
It was
Had to be
yesterday, and he said he's gotta find a place to dump the concrete and stuff, and he's hoping them to be clear out just before he would take it.
Oh, somebody also asked too, if they ever gonna do anything with 61 Union Street? That's really getting bad down near the,
Is the
Street.
asphalt company?
By the marathon or where?
I don't,
Before we stop.
yeah, well, that too. Yeah. And I told her, I said, well, you know, M&B's the one that ripped it up, let them fix it at a decent price, if they give us a decent price.
Well, that's what we talked about last meeting, that we're gonna go around and we're gonna fix some streets next year.
Yeah, I thought it
then
was
we got-
one for next year,
yeah.
yeah.
And so, I mean,
I still have that audit, I mean, we still have the pictures of all the streets that Bill and I did, so, I mean, we got a lot of information to bring to the council and say, look, this is what we got. You can pick-
and then
pick what we're
pick,
gonna
pick
do.
the worst one, put it in the one, I mean, that's all we can do. Okay. You got that appropriations thing here, well, we're just gonna have the second reading of the 2015 temporary appropriations. I'm gonna pass it around, I mean, you read it last meeting, this will be the second reading of it. You guys can look at that. And this will be the second reading for that. We are going to have, Angela, didn't you say we have to have we'll have to have a special meeting this
I'm
month
pretty
yet?
sure we will.
So that we can give it to them, to Julie before January 1st. Anybody got any questions on that? Okay. Now let's personnel and procedures manual on this, but we talked about it last time and we was gonna look it over again, right? And
We were talking about bringing an ordinance and having a 3 rating on it,
And then I think Rick had some recommendations as far as on the rules, the Robert's rules or whatever, something like, you said something about some lawyers from Columbus had a good structure, is what you're saying. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Only if Roberts is much too substantial.
Yeah, but you've seen,
Well,
I mean,
these,
Yeah,
Rob came up with.
I guess my comment last time was I like Grand Hills.
So is that a little bit more involved what we got here, then, is that the question, Randall one?
I briefly went over it, taken,
I'm deferring.
Okay, that's fine.
and, I mean, I was just adding that to our current, book that we have. And it was my understanding that we were just gonna either, accept this, I thought these mentioned, what up ordinance?
We may have, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes, I think it's.
He's on cloud nine with his new child, so.
And I've
It's
been,
okay, buddy.
I've been out for a couple of weeks,
Okay, well,
literally.
can we plan on taking it as is, unless there's?
Well, I think it's a living document, I think.
Yeah.
we just-
It's a living document, we can take
Yeah,
out,
we can
put
tweak
in,
it.
but we need an ordinance probably the next time.
Waiving the 3 readings and
No,
just put something in, or
No, we're just gonna just go with 3
We're
readings.
gonna go
3
through
readings and
readings
attach
then
Exhibit
probably
A.
adopt it in April.
And with attached Exhibit A.
Yeah.
But you can amend it, second reading, not third.
Right, that's
And
what.
but later on, you can always say, well, let's amend Exhibit A to something else. So
Yeah.
at least you have something in place.
Yeah, I think we just handle this like you do your personal, your workers manuals like that, you got it structured, but then if that's, you find that you have a change, then you tweak it and,
Sure.
and just, living document.
So we can get that drawn up and
Okay.
we'll go through the 3
Can
readings.
you do that, Don?
I can.
You can have it.
I have no other
Yeah, I
choice
agree.
expecting it.
No, not,
No, I
Keep
know
your
we-
hands off of her for at least 2 months.
I'm not going there.
Yeah, my
Just
ordinance
not going
is
there.
saying attached Exhibit A. 3 readings.
Trying to get something
anybody got anything else to add to that? Anybody else got anything to bring up under old business? I guess, as you see, the EMS building is just about done. Is he still waiting for one window, I think? Everything else is, the windows are wrapped, everything's in.
You pretty happy with the way you did it? I mean, I haven't.
Yeah, yeah, he does good
To
work.
sign this or anything? No, there's a
Yeah.
But he, wrapped all the windows and, all except the one. The one came in broken and they didn't know it. And it's already been ordered for 2 weeks.
So we still only, what, 50% or something like that?
Oh, we owe the 2,300 and something, I think, whatever is
So
left.
do we have to get John and, okay to approve it, that he's happy with the job and pay him or?
Well, we can pay, yeah, well, I don't think we have to do that. Do we?
What's that?
Have to approve,
I'm saying,
pay him
You
when
have
it
to
gets
all
done,
pay
because I mean,
when it's
that
done,
was,
that
that was actually done before. I mean, as long as
I'm
John
saying, as long
inspects
as
it.
he inspects it and signs off, that's what I'm saying, is that's all
No,
I have.
everything looks good, though. The reason he's still waiting for a window is because when they all came in, that one was broken, so it had to be sent back.
You just give that to him.
So,
Yeah, I knew that, to make sure if we had to sign off on it or something, or the
No.
council would be, so.
We talked before, Gary, about numbering all the residents here in town. Where's that stand? I mean, it's been brought up a few times, but there's been no decisions.
Well, the people have to buy their own numbers, right?
We haven't discussed it. That they need to be
Well, I
uniform.
have, I think it's a
Yeah.
great idea, because you know what?
I
We was
guess
looking for a place in Fremont, we went the whole, from, out there, way out State Street, all the way into, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we could not find one number on any building.
well,
We did not know where in hell this place was at.
I can tell you that we went through this before. This was discussed years ago.
Yeah, it was years and years ago, they
The
made it.
problem is there's no way to enforce it. We tried to get, we put out letters with, that was back when we got the trifold water bills. We put out letters in everybody's thing asking them to put numbers on their houses and, because that would be great in itself.
And you would think that they would, because
But-
like EMS stuff or whatever, you know. Yeah.
You mean actually
It would just be nice to have.
No, not
No,
changing
no,
it.
just making it
They already
visible.
have a number, but it's
Just
not
read the
on.
draft.
I mean, the house is numbered, but I mean,
He's talking
you know,
about putting those signs out
The
in the
little-
front yard. Data address.
Anything. A lot of the houses don't have anything.
But, yeah.
you know, some of them do, some of them don't.
That was stone.
Tombs.
You got mad the last time you said that.
You might be under it if you don't behave yourself, right?
Halloween, if you just would've put a thing that looked like a couple plots there, that would've really been cool.
Candy bars.
Yeah.
Or you trick or treaters.
Yeah, they're there, they found
Your
them.
neighbor gave out $5 bills over there.
Yeah. Yeah, that always eat up one on Scotty there.
Where's that town?
Okay, does that, are we gonna try to enforce it anymore, or, I mean, I guess you can't enforce it, but can we put it out there and suggest it to people again,
Well, maybe we present it as a safety issue and say we're trying to get, so the fire department that came to the appropriate, house or whatever, if we get a house number, so we can figure out,
Or if you need an ambulance,
yeah, maybe approach
so
it that way.
Lifeline can find you.
Because, I mean, that's the way we approached it back then, too. That was the idea, so the fire department knew and EMS.
Let's try that again and see what happens, I mean, because anytime you try to force something down someone's throat, then they'll get defined,
Okay, when I lived out on 12, I know Boone was trying to make sure all the properties were identified, because we had so many new houses out there, and they had a program going where they were actually handing out street signs. I don't know what the cost was, if anything, I didn't get one. I already had my numbers on mine, so I didn't need one. Anybody looked into that? There's something out there, because they just.
Or you'd have a
on
book
their
on
own.
it,
Well, we
probably.
could probably
wouldn't
ask
you,
Tim
John?
Lynch what they did, because they did the same thing in Liberty Township, didn't he, because they, we had all those signs out there, right? So maybe figure out the
Yeah,
cost.
it's all.
Didn't the
same.
townships
They're all
give it
being
to
made
them,
by
though?
someone.
Well, I don't know that, I don't know.
I thought that's how that went.
Them signs used to be like $7 a piece. I don't know what they are anymore, because we used to sell them at our fire department over on Fremont, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It looks just too standard for there not to be some sort of program behind that. I mean, something's there. You know what?
We can ask Tim, but he said he was gonna try to be here, but he. So that,
So do we wanna look into the price of?
yeah, why don't you can find some
I mean,
prices on it.
Over there, it worked out pretty good because people didn't object to spending $7, $8 to get a sign with their numbers. I mean, maybe if we could even get a few of them in bulk, maybe 50 of them or whatever, and see if we can get some people on board to buy them.
The only difference with that is out there was mail delivery, so it was real convenient to put it on your mailbox.
Right.
I have that service.
On Franklin Street, you do.
That's the other thing. Do you really want your streets lined with those?
That's what I was kinda trying to picture. I don't know of any town or small city that does.
I won't follow.
Cause I thought the idea was years ago was not for those signs, wasn't it? Wasn't for, just have them put house numbers on their house, wasn't it?
And house numbers don't cost very much, I think just the ones I had on mine was less than $5.
Right.
You know, that is.
Cause
That was
I
40 years
remember
ago.
back then,
Do you
that's what they
know,
was
I
after.
just read tonight that house.
Put house numbers on it.
And technically, it's a scam because everyone's gotta get a permit to put a
Mine.
signpost out.
Hold on.
What's that? 1882, it was the doctor's office.
What?
My house.
I remember reading that in the doctor's
Oh,
office.
yeah, Dr.
Dr.
Rowe,
Wilson.
or,
Dr. Wilson?
Wilson.
Well, you weren't even born then.
He was a patient.
Yeah.
Hey, no, I was Doc Huber, I was a patient.
One of the guys who needs a new roof. Just letting you know ahead of time. For this summer, okay?
Every truck has a flashlight in it. I mean, even if their numbers were on their porch or
Right.
like
Yeah.
Stan's guy is, I mean, anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what we should have, I mean, house numbers more than Just
Yeah.
put those signs out on the road,
Yeah.
that would look kinda stupid.
Just have put house numbers on, or at least ask them to try to.
I mean, it's something different being out in the
Don't
country
ask them to
where
tell them
there's
they're
space
gonna
way
have
out.
to do it, you know, this,
That'll go over like a lead.
well, you know
balloon.
what, aren't you getting tired of people bucking the system? Let's
It's
just get
never
it
gonna
done.
end.
Can they do an ordinance?
Requiring a house
Required.
number prominently displayed on your house.
Yeah.
And then it can be enforced, you
Yeah.
guys can make up a fine for not having it on there or something.
No,
$7.
$7 or $8.
And then hand them the sign. With your fine, you get a sign.
Oh, boy, that's good. That's
Thank you.
Okay, slogan.
Hey, that's a good
Good slogan.
Good one, John. Good one.
Okay, anybody got any other old business?
This whole
This is
meeting's done.
professional, right?
Steve, you got anything else?
No.
Anybody else on any old business?
No, I have nothing else.
Okay, new business,
I'll make a motion, we approve the magistrate's report.
I don't have one.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, we do.
it's under
I
page
got it.
3. Yeah.
Second.
Yeah, I got it.
They can waste money this month.
I can stop it.
Okay,
Just gotta find that balance. If you're doing something wrong, that's okay. Just don't harass
who
anybody.
made the motion?
We wanna be fruits.
I did.
I second it.
You second it? Okay.
Speaking of magistrate, we talked about a furnace for over there.
Yeah.
It's inside the door there.
That's
We
what
Yeah.
did get one,
We got a furnace.
just
You
haven't got it installed yet.
Oh, is it a new one or is it something juice one or something? What do you mean?
New one.
Well, it was on a garage, no, it's not. I opened up an
So buy one,
account,
get one free.
That's why I just want.
I opened up an account at Famous
Okay.
and, got one.
I'm good.
So all we're gonna do is get installed.
Yeah, and everything's pretty much
Should have her in by spring.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so Joyce,
Yeah.
Rob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
This one is a free read.
Huh? Just three reading, yeah. Okay, we're going to resolution number 2014-20. It's our credit card policy that we come up with. Is that what-
Is that resolution, you gonna make that resolution?
Oh, yeah. Is it, should be a resolution or order?
You can do a resolution. so that.
So I do have a question. You think $2,000 is enough for John in case they had emergency or something?
Well, he got that so in case fire, or fire hydrant or somebody hit that or something.
Well, no, I understand what I'm saying. Do you think this $2,000 is enough? Because I got $10,000 per transaction. A lot of times I get close to it, I'm gonna buy something or whatever, so.
For anything that we necessarily need to do, we've got accounts pretty much everywhere.
So we're okay that
The
way.
big thing was is when we were getting ready for the 4th of July and that, you're getting all sorts of stuff in one month. And all of our cards were maxed out all the time. Or if I had to run up to HD Supply and get a fire hydrant, those are $1,500 now. So, I mean, nah,
Okay. But the other thing you gotta watch too is your transactions, number of transactions per day or whatever, those
Right.
things that can get you in trouble too, especially and I'm just saying you gotta watch when you set your cards up, so that your flexible don't.
Well, we all got our cards, it's
Yeah.
just that, I mean, we don't use them that much.
Yeah.
So you got accounts around, but, so leave it as an ordinance, is that how you guys?
No, I would
I would
have
make
that
it a
one as a
resolution.
resolution.
Okay,
That way,
change it
because
to
it's a
resolution
policy
then.
and a procedure.
So what's that number?
It'd be the same.
Same thing? Okay. Okay, resolution 2014-20. Village of Bettsville credit card policy. Purpose to establish convenient, efficient, and cost-effective method of purchasing goods and services when vendors will not accept purchase orders. policy, the Village of Bettsville will provide a credit card to the mayor and to all department heads to be used for purchases of goods and services when vendors will not accept purchase orders or when attending conferences, workshops, or courses if purchase orders are not accepted. Procedure, the Village of Bettsville will obtain 6 credit cards from the financial banking institute in which it has been established its account. Mayor's credit card, 1 credit card will be issued in the name of the mayor. A credit limit of $500 shall be established. The mayor may use the card to subscribe to goods, software, and other materials that require prepayment through the internet. The mayor may use the card to pay for lodging, business meals, fuel, airline tickets, car rentals, and any other goods and services that cannot be obtained by purchase order. Employees and council members may use the mayor's card when attending conferences, workshops, or courses if purchase orders are not accepted. Village administrator's credit card, 1 credit card will be issued to the village administrator with a credit limit of $2,000. The card may be used for purchases that cannot be done with vouchers. As per standard procedures, all except emergency purchases must be pre-approved. Other department credit cards, fiscal officer, 1 credit card with a credit limit of $1,000. Water and sewer administrator, 1 credit card with a credit limit of $500, that'd be Dave. Police chief, 1 credit card with a credit limit of $500. Fire chief, 1 credit card with a credit limit of $500. General employees and trustees will be required to sign out the card as per the format shown below. Credit cards will be blocked for cash advances, casino, and drinking establishments.
Keep the card.
The card,
This thing.
sure wasn't me, was it? The card holder is responsible for the security of his purchases. The card holder shall return the card and provide itemized receipts for each purchase to the village clerk upon return to his place of work. The receipts will indicate the reason and nature of the purchase. All receipts and expenditures will be reconciled with the monthly statements and audited by the village council. If the card holder cannot produce a receipt, he shall be responsible for reimbursement to the village. No personal purchases may be made with the card. All purchases not expressly authorized in the budget must be approved, council approved. No expenditures for entertainment or non-business purposes shall be made. In the event of willful or negligent default of the obligations of the card holder, the mayor of Bettsville shall take such recovery action as deemed appropriate by law. The mayor shall return his card upon request from the council or upon termination of his term of office. The village administrator card shall be returned upon request by the village council. That is the first reading. Well, then you got the card holder agreement in the back. The requirements for use of the municipal credit card. The credit card is to be used only to make purchases at the request of and for the legitimate business benefit of the village of Bettsville. Credit card must be used in accordance with the provisions of the credit card policy established by the village of Bettsville as attached hereto. Violations of these requirements may result in revocation of such privileges. Employees found to have inappropriately used the credit card will be required to reimburse the village of Bettsville for all costs associated with such improper use through direct payment or payroll deduction. Disciplinary action may be taken per the village's personnel policies up to and including termination. The village of Bettsville will investigate and commence in appropriate cases criminal prosecution against any employee found to have misused the credit card or who violates the provisions of the cardholder agreement. And then we'll have them all signed and that you received them and that you agree by the
terms and conditions.
And then when you turn it back in, why, there's a place to turn it in and we'll have it on file. So that will be the first reading.
Real quick, it reminded me when it said something about training in there. On Wednesday of next week, Gould's is putting on a training that Dave and I are attending in Mansfield at the pump facility. It's the basics on their electrical and their pumps on Wednesday, and on Thursday
Okay, the second resolution,
And that one's gonna be an ordinance.
is that gonna be an ordinance?
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
because we're creating
Just,
an entity to, we're joining.
Okay. Is that gonna be 2021 for the ordinance? too?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we have to do an ordinance here for the, join this joint ambulance service. It's okay, ordinance number 2014-21, an ordinance for the village of Bettsville to join the Jackson, Liberty, and Bettsville Joint Ambulance District. Whereas it has come to the attention of the council of the village of Bettsville that it needs to provide better ambulance service, and whereas the council of the village of Bettsville is elected by a vote of 3/4 of its members to dispense with the requirement of section 731-17 of the Ohio Revised Code, that this ordinance be read 3 separate days prior to its passage. And now therefore be it ordained by the council of the village of Bettsville, county of Seneca, state of Ohio, as follows. Section 1, the village of Bettsville hereby joins the Jackson, Liberty, Bettsville Joint Ambulance District. Section 2, that this ordinance is effective 30 days from the date of passage, passed, and its due authentication by the mayor and the clerk of the village of Bettsville, Ohio. So, we're gonna do your,
Motion to suspend the rules.
I will.
I'll second it.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Rob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Stan.
Yes.
Motion to adopt as presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Scott,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Bill,
Yes.
Stan,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
okay, is that it?
This question is, now do we have to sign this for that?
Sign
We'll do this.
Well, this one here, then we're going through, this is for the joint thing,
Yeah.
and we can read it here, so y'all read it out. Whereas Jackson Township, Seneca County, Ohio, will join a joint ambulance district as authorized by Ohio Revised Code Section 505.71 with Liberty Township and the village of Bettsville. Whereas Liberty Township, Seneca County, Ohio, will join a joint ambulance district as authorized by the Ohio Revised Code Section 505.71 with Jackson Township and the village of Bettsville. Whereas the village of Bettsville, Seneca County, Ohio, will join a joint ambulance district as authorized by Ohio Revised Code Section 505.71 with Liberty Township and Jackson Township. Whereas Jackson Township, Liberty Township, and the village of Bettsville by this resolution set forth the establishment of a governing body for the JLB Joint Ambulance Service District. Therefore, it is resolved as follows. Jackson Township, Liberty Township, and the village of Bettsville hereby resolve to join together. Okay, the second resolution,
That one's gonna be an ordinance.
is that gonna be an ordinance?
Yeah. that's-
Okay,
Because we're
You
creating
just
an
had 'em all.
entity to, we're joining.
okay. Is that gonna be 2021 for the ordinance too? Okay. Okay, we have to do an ordinance here for the, join this joint ambulance service. So, okay, ordinance number 2014-21, an ordinance for the village of Bettsville to join the Jackson, Liberty, and Bettsville Joint Ambulance District. Whereas it has come to the attention of the council of the village of Bettsville that it needs to provide better ambulance service, and whereas the council of the village of Bettsville is elected by a vote of 3/4 of its members to dispense with the requirement of section 731-17 of the Ohio Revised Code, that this ordinance be read 3 separate days prior to its passage. And now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Village of Bettsville, County of Seneca, State of Ohio as follows. Section 1, the Village of Bettsville hereby joins the Jackson Liberty Bettsville Joint Ambulance District. Section 2, this ordinance is effective 30 days from the date of passage, passed, and its due authentication by the mayor and the clerk of the Village of Bettsville, Ohio. So, we're gonna have to do your,
Motion to suspend the rules.
I will.
I'll second it.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Rob?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Motion to adopt as presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Scott?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
okay, is that it?
I guess the question is, now, do we have to sign this in the back?
Sign
When we do this?
Well, this one here, then we're going through, this is for the joint thing,
Yeah.
and we can read it here, if you all read it, whereas Jackson Township, Seneca County, Ohio, will join a joint ambulance district as authorized by Ohio Revised Code Section 505.71 with Liberty Township and the Village of Bettsville. Whereas Liberty Township, Seneca County, Ohio, will join a joint ambulance district as authorized by the Ohio Revised Code Section 505.71 with Jackson Township and the Village of Bettsville. Whereas the Village of Bettsville, Seneca County, Ohio, will join a joint ambulance district as authorized by Ohio Revised Code Section 505.71 with Liberty Township and Jackson Township. Whereas Jackson Township, Liberty Township, and the Village of Bettsville by this resolution set forth the establishment of a governing body for the JLB Joint Ambulance Service District. Therefore, it is resolved as follows. Jackson Township, Liberty Township, and the Village of Bettsville hereby resolved to join together in a joint ambulance district as authorized by the Ohio Revised Code Section 505.71. Said joint ambulance district will be called JLB Joint Ambulance District. The JLB Joint Ambulance District will encompass the entity of Jackson Township, Liberty Township, and the Village of Bettsville. Jackson Township, Liberty Township, and the Village of Bettsville will each appoint a member of their respective boards to serve as a member of the JLB Joint Ambulance District. The JLB Joint Ambulance District will employ a clerk and establish a bond for the fulfillment of the duties of that position. The JLB Joint Ambulance District may compensate board members as set forth in Revised Code Section 505.71. While we're on that, we're not taking no, they're not gonna take no salary, it's just, it's in there if it gets enough. But the JLB Joint Ambulance District shall undertake to provide services and equipment necessary to provide for ambulance service in the district. The JLB Joint Ambulance District may issue bonds and exercise all legal actions authorized by the Ohio Revised Code. The JLB Joint Ambulance District shall be effective on January 1, 2015, or upon the date that all participants have passed this resolution. Each party may execute their own original and provide a copy to each of the other participating entities. The copies shall be treated as an original and together shall constitute originals of this joint solution. So resolved by a majority of each participating entity. What we're going to do for the back here, I need all you guys to sign this one I got here, and then,
I would do this one also, as a waiver of 3 readings.
Okay.
And then pass it. See, as municipality, we operate as ordinance, but now as part of the county operates as resolutions. That's why we would do both.
Okay.
So we're kosher on both ends,
Okay.
Title 7 and Title 5.
so that'll be 2015, or 2014-21, 22. Okay. Okay.
Make a
And
motion
w-
to suspend the rules then and use the
Yeah.
wording again. I'll make
Yeah.
a motion to suspend the rules.
We gotta read it again?
No.
No,
Oh.
we gotta go through this.
Jesus Christ, give me a break.
I'll second.
Settle down, Joyce.
You get in.
So this will be resolution or?
This one's a resolution. This is for the county.
Got the resolution. 14,
Scott,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Bill,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
So we're gonna declare emergency, sir?
No,
Okay, so motion to adopt is presented.
I will.
I'll second it.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
okay, thank you guys for
I'm
that.
gonna sign it now, right?
Yeah, I want you to sign this one, cause then what we're doing is, this'll be original for us.
Right.
And then I'll take it to Jackson and Liberty and
Right.
they'll sign it, the original,
sign as it's written here, or sign my name?
sign your name. And or on that, if it would be all right with council's approval on that, I'd be the member to be on that board.
They're gonna use our ambulance and then
Yeah,
are they?
everything's gonna be stationed right here.
Okay,
Same as here, and I think that the betterment of this is gonna be that, you know, that 2,000 that the county gave us never went for didn't cover this, everything.
yeah.
We'll get covered now with,
Oh,
we'll take care of more for the heat and
oh,
different things that we get
good.
for keeping it here and that.
Are they gonna kinda maybe send some people to help man it too, you suppose, or?
Well, we're good, that's what we're working out, well, I mean, we're gonna,
A lot of stuff to work out, yeah.
You know someone who wants to join?
Hey, I'm compassionate.
You can be our official.
I said, I'm compassionate.
You could
and
be
I
the
have a lot
mascot,
of
Joe.
sympathy for people.
you could be
That'd
the mascot.
ideal, right?
Kinda going this kind of way.
You got a lot of sympathy.
Oh, lordy, you guys.
Time to put it to bed, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Just going tonight and
So I would imagine you probably have to make a motion so that I can be appointed
I'll
as a
make the
member.
motion to appoint Gary Harrison as our representative.
representative
to
for the
JLB.
village.
Yeah. How's that? Second.
There you go.
I'll second it.
Rob, you made the motion.
Yes.
Scott, you second.
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Dan?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Yes.
And Tim's gonna be the one for Jack, or for Liberty.
Liberty, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know which one, if it's gonna, it'll probably be Tim Reinhardt from Jackson, but we don't know that.
He's still in the hospital,
He's coming for the no.
I think he got home.
or is he?
Angela, I'll
That's
need your
nasty stuff.
signature on
Doesn't
this
want to have his pancreas.
so that we can make it all original.
That ain't no good to me.
Yeah.
I heard the same thing.
I just have a copy of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'll get this original back. Cause we'll have to keep that up,
Have to put that on file.
yeah, we'll have to keep that on file. That way, everybody signs this back page on each of their own, and that constitutes the original for everybody.
So will it be like 30 days after all the signatures are on it, then it's 30 days after that is when it goes into
That's
effect?
what I said, on the first or after all the signatures are.
Yeah.
After all
Yeah.
the signatories.
Cause I think Liberty and, I don't know, I think Liberty had their meeting last night.
Yes.
So they was passing it, and then Jackson
Jackson's is tonight.
tonight, yeah, and they'll pass it too.
Yeah.
So we'll have to sign their papers then
And
too.
so you need this one too.
Well, basically.
Yeah,
because of-
yeah, well, Probably what I'll do is, when
Or
I get,
we have
when you
that
get
next
there,
meeting.
I'll come around to each of you to your house, if that's okay, and,
Yeah.
and have you sign it,
Sign
and I
it.
can give it right back to
Dog bite
them.
And that way it's done.
I was gonna have my dog bite him.
Hey, I'll bring my killer dog too.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody have anything else to bring up under new business?
Come on, Bill.
Nothing?
If not, I wish
Adjourn,
all of you
Bill.
a very Merry
Make
Christmas.
a motion to adjourn,
and-
Bill. We haven't heard your voice
and-
tonight.
Every time you come to the door, that dog just goes crazy.
It's like a postman.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dogs know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and UPS men.
Yeah. I usually, when I bring it, you ain't to the meeting and I bring you your check. I don't know why you're so mad at me.
I know, not that.
We
I'm
should
not- I
get a
know when
dog
you're
his
there,
check,
though.
and let him chew it up.
Yeah,
once, yeah.
yeah, say here.
Yeah.
Go get him. Come on.
Okay, do we have a, somebody gonna make?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, Billy
Bill.
already did. I made Billy do it.
Oh, Billy did it?
Yeah.
Billy slept, sneaked under the radar.
He's yelling in my ear, we need a motion.
I didn't hear Billy, you haven't, I didn't either.
No, I didn't, he's facing the other way. Yeah, how quiet he is.
It's not normally that crazy. It's going on overnight.
It's worse. It's worse.
It's safe putting these over there, or leaving them out.
Put him over there.
I want to make people see me.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Merry Christmas,
Heck,
everyone.
Yeah,
Who is
Merry
that?
Christmas.